Australian pension schemes invest around 3 times more in infrastructure investment compared to defined contribution schemes in the UK. One of the key reasons for this is the much larger size of their funds, while our pensions landscape remains highly fragmented. And more often than not, it is Canadian teachers and Australian professors reaping the rewards of investing in British productive assets through their pension schemes. So tonight, we are publishing the interim report of the Pensions Investment Review. It sets out our plans to create Canadian and Australian-style mega funds to power growth in our economy and start the most significant set of changes to the pensions landscape since the Turner Review.
Let's talk about a big change that could affect millions of people, your state pension. Did you know the government could save a staggering £6 billion a year just by raising the state pension age? But wait, before you roll your eyes or switch tabs, let's dive into what this actually means for you and why it's stirring up so much debate. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this. According to a recent report by the Institute for Fiscal Studies, or IFS, and pension provider Aberdeen, there's a proposal to increase the state pension age from 66 to 67 between 2026 and 2028. Now, on paper, this sounds like a no-brainer for the government. Saving £6 billion a year, that's money they can put elsewhere. But here's the catch. Not everyone is cheering. Why? Well, the IFS found that while pensioners are generally better off than the working-age population, there are still many retirees and people nearing retirement who are at a real risk of falling into poverty. Let's break this down. For starters, groups like pensioners who rent privately are particularly vulnerable. This isn't just a small issue, it's a growing trend. Back in the day, only about 4% of people born in the 1940s were private renters in their 50s. Fast forward to the 1960s generation, and that number's already jumped to 10%. And if rents keep climbing, this problem isn't going away. So, what's the solution? The IFS and ABRDN suggest 2 targeted measures to ease the impact on those most affected. Here's how they could work. Provide extra support to people a year below pension age who are already on universal credit. This could reduce poverty in around 30,000 households. The price tag, £600 million a year. Focus on those receiving both universal credit and health-related benefits. This option would cost less, about £200 million a year, but it would only help around 3,000 households. Sounds good, right? But here's where it gets tricky. Expanding support further would reduce poverty even more, but could also cost significantly more and might discourage some from staying in the workforce. So, it's a balancing act. Another idea on the table is allowing pensioners to claim housing benefit for an additional room. This small change could lift thousands of single pensioners and couples out of poverty. Plus, it would let them host family, like kids or grandkids, without cramming into a tiny space. Cost around £150 million a year. But here's the real kicker. Many people aren't even claiming the benefits they're entitled to because the system is just too complicated. Billions of pounds go unclaimed every year. Imagine how many lives could improve if navigating the benefit system wasn't like solving a Rubik's Cube in the dark. Sabrina McCullough from Money Wellness summed it up perfectly. She said that as the pension age rises, people are waiting longer for support they desperately need. And for those within 5 years of retirement, especially people with disabilities or health issues, the monthly budget gap can be over £100. That's huge. So where do we go from here? The debate over raising the pension age is far from simple. It's about balancing government savings with real-life struggles.